The throne room of the Valyrian Empire was a place where laughter had never existed. Not once, not in 1,000 years. Every footstep echoed with fear, every breath was controlled, and every alien bowed so low their foreheads nearly touched the obsidian floor. And right in the middle of this cold, silent kingdom stood him, an ordinary human, completely unaware that one accidental sentence was about to shake an entire empire. He hadn't meant to say it. He hadn't even meant to speak out loud. But when he caught a glimpse of the alien queen, tall, regal, carved from cosmic fire and discipline, he muttered under his breath, "Wow, even her butt looks intimidating." The words slipped out like a whisper, but in the dead-silent throne room, whispers were louder than thunder. Every warrior froze, advisors stiffened, entire battalions tensed for execution. The queen herself stopped mid-step, her eyes widening in disbelief, her wings flickering with energy no one had seen in decades. Time seemed to stretch. He waited for death. Everyone waited for death, but instead, a strange sound escaped her. A breath, a crack in her composure. And then it happened. She laughed. Not a soft laugh, not a polite laugh, but a full, uncontrolled, genuine laugh that echoed through the vast hall like a shockwave. Her people panicked, confused, horrified, because their queen, feared across galaxies, had just expressed an emotion she'd buried since childhood. But the queen wasn't thinking about her empire. She was staring at the human, intrigued, amused, curious, and she whispered, with a voice trembling from unfamiliar delight, "Earthling, you said that about my butt?" The human's face turned red, but it was too late. A single joke had broken a century of silence, and in that moment, between fear, shock, and laughter, the most unexpected bond in the galaxy quietly began. The throne room of the Valyrian Empire was built to silence mortals, towering pillars, glowing blue flames, and guards who never blinked. Humans weren't supposed to be there, but he stood in front of the queen, waiting for judgment after a diplomatic mix-up had dragged him into the palace. The room was so silent he could hear his own heartbeat, fast, uneven, terrified. Then, as the alien queen stepped down from her throne, her armor shifting like living crystal, he muttered under his breath without thinking, "Wow, even her butt looks intimidating." The whisper echoed like a shout. Every alien froze mid-breath. Guards nearly dropped their halberds. Advisors looked like they were witnessing the end of the galaxy. The queen stopped, spine rigid, wings trembling, her gaze sharp enough to cut stone. For a full 5 seconds, reality didn't move. The human braced for death. Instead, her lips parted, and a laugh burst out, not controlled, pure, unfiltered laughter, something her people had never heard in their lives. The shock spread through the throne room like a quake. Valyrians stared wide-eyed at their queen, unsure if they were hallucinating. No queen had laughed in centuries. Emotion was considered weakness. Warmth was forbidden, joy was unheard of. Yet here she was, shoulders shaking, eyes glimmering, laughing so hard she had to hold the edge of her throne. The human stood frozen, both embarrassed and strangely honored, unsure whether to bow, apologize, or run. The queen finally managed to regain her breath, wiping a tear from her glowing eye. "Earthling, you made me laugh." Her advisors panicked, whispering frantically. The queen's emotional control was the foundation of their culture. If she changed, everything changed. And she felt that truth too. For the first time, she realized how suffocating her own rules had been. Turning back to him, she asked, "Say it again! The thing about my butt!" Her grin widened. The Empire had no idea how to handle this. The guards escorted everyone else out, leaving only the queen and the terrified human standing in the vast hall. She walked around him slowly, her presence radiating both authority and curiosity. Her laughter had awakened something old and forgotten inside her, and she needed to understand why he triggered it. "Do humans often speak this freely?" she asked, circling him like a cosmic predator. "Not usually to queens," he replied. She tilted her head, observing him closely. "Do you fear me?" "Yes," he admitted. "And yet you comment on my body?" "Also yes," he groaned. Another laugh escaped her. She questioned him about humans, humor, flirting, and why his words had felt so surprising yet refreshing. As their conversation deepened, the Queen found herself fascinated. This human didn't bow, didn't tremble, didn't speak in rehearsed lines. He spoke with life, something her world had forgotten. For the first time, she wondered what else humans could awaken inside her. Outside the throne room, chaos erupted. Advisors formed emergency councils. The generals debated whether the human should be executed to restore emotional neutrality. Priests claimed the Queen's laughter was a sign of divine disruption. Clans across the palace whispered, "If the Queen can laugh, what else can happen?" Some feared revolution, others felt hope. Inside, the Queen ignored them all. When the council barged in demanding the human be punished, she shut them down with one command: "No one touches him." Her gaze was sharp, cold, decisive. The council hesitated. This was not the Queen they were used to, yet she wasn't weaker. She felt stronger than ever. "This human," she declared, "has shown me something valuable, something I lost centuries ago." The court fell silent as she stepped beside him, wings folding in a protective arc. He was her first connection to a forgotten part of herself. The Queen summoned him to walk through her private gardens, sacred spaces where no one but royalty was allowed. She asked him to explain jokes, sarcasm, compliments, and why humans teased those they liked. He did his best, though blushing constantly, as she kept referencing the "but" moment. As they walked, something remarkable happened. Her guards noticed the Queen smiling, actually smiling. Not the formal, cold one. A real one. Flowers responded to her emotions, glowing brighter. Creatures hiding in the trees peeked out, sensing warmth instead of command. The Queen paused, looking at her reflection in the crystalline pond. "I do not recognize this version of myself," she whispered. For the first time in centuries, she felt alive. Not as a ruler, not as a symbol, but not everyone welcomed the change. A powerful military faction believed the Queen's emotions endangered the empire. They plotted to remove the human quietly, restoring the old order. One night, assassins ambushed him in the lower halls. Before he could react, blue fire exploded through the corridor. Her wings flared with cosmic power, her fury bright enough to scorch stone. The assassins fell to their knees, trembling under her wrath. She protected the human with a ferocity no one had seen before. He stared at her, shocked, grateful, and deeply moved. "I have guarded an empire for 1,000 years," she whispered, "but for the first time, I want to guard someone for myself." Word spread quickly. The Queen wasn't weakened by emotion. She was stronger than ever. Her abilities were sharper, her aura brighter, her decisions balanced with both logic and compassion. People began to smile, first secretly, then freely. She asked the human for help teaching her people humor, communication, and emotional expression. The lessons were awkward, chaotic, and hilarious. For the first time, Valyrians felt like a society instead of a machine. And at the center of it, all stood the Queen and the human, partners in transformation. One evening, atop the balcony overlooking the glowing city, the Queen turned to him. Her wings shimmered softly in the starlight. "You changed my people," she said. "I've laughed, smiled, felt anger, fear, joy, and all of it began with you." He chuckled nervously. "Because of a comment about your butt?" "Because you were honest with me in a world where no one else dared." It was the beginning of a new era for both their worlds in the end. What began as a slip of the tongue, one unfiltered, human moment, shook an empire built on silence. A single laugh cracked a 1,000-year tradition. A queen rediscovered the parts of herself she had buried under duty, and a civilization learned that emotion wasn't weakness,